tune into my Here and Now show, you know that the Here and Now show is a show where I have took real life events and turned them into a positive living. And the Here and Now show, if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave it in the message box. So with that being said, let's start the show. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your girl. I am so glad to be here right now. But before I get into it this evening, your girl got to apologize. I want to apologize for missing Tuesday's show. Did y'all miss me? Cause I've really missed you guys. I miss every single one of you. I know that some of y'all was looking at your phone like, where is Lavonda? Trust me, I was wondering the same thing. But listen, life be lifing. And life was lifing for me that particular day. I got busy. I looked at my watch. Before I knew it, time had run right past me. And we can't get time back, but I can spin the block. So I wasn't annoying y'all. I wasn't on some secret vacation eating crab legs, although that kind of sounds good. I was simply trying to pick up life, and life was winning at that moment. But think about the one thing about me, I always find my way back home. I always find my home, and this is my home. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, for supporting me, for showing up. Y'all not just my listeners, but you guys are my family too. So thank you guys for your grace. Thank you for always showing up every week with me. And now enough to where I've been. Now I know that, I feel blessed, and you guys should feel blessed. And I'm here in the Midwest. Oh my gosh, it's so hot right now and I'm in the middle of it. But today's conversation, I think it's one that we can all relate to. So, go get your dinner or go get your snack or go get your coffee or your sweet tea. Or if you're standing in the kitchen with your leftovers, sitting there eating straight out the container, this conversation is for you. This is a judge free zone. So, family, friends, let's laugh, let's heal, let's tell the truth because today's topic is life after the BS and to be know that the twisted plot I am the blessing so that they lost. So take a few seconds, to get in the mood. Y'all know me, I like a little jazz before I jump into it. So we're gonna get into it with a little jazz and then we're gonna dive into it. So I'll give you guys like 10, 15 seconds, or y'all give me 10, 15 seconds. I'm not going nowhere, but that's that second. So let's just kind of groove with the jazz for a second. Let's just set the mode, baby. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know you guys are probably like, that is not enough time for me to do anything. Now, if you're just tuning into this conversation today, today's topic, like I said, is life after the BS plus the plotted twist. I am the blessing that they lost. Now, family and friends, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked back at a situation and thought, what in the Walmart parking lot is going on? I don't know. I find that to be a funny joke. That's funny to me. I know you guys were like, what is she talking about? So I'm trying to be nice with my words. So yeah, okay. Anyways, that's a joke for me. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know. But anyways, but seriously, guys, have you ever, stayed in a relationship longer than your milk has expired in your refrigerator? Or have you ever called a friend crying and talking about how somebody hurt you, and then later on they yelling, that's my man, or that's my boo, or for me, that's my girl. But shit, fine. No, do anybody know what I'm saying? Okay, fine. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Don't leave me by myself. But okay, maybe it's just me. I was looking in the mirror, and I said, girl, you deserve a timeout. Cause baby, we're not crying over people who walked out of our lives and didn't see our values. We are not begging for closure. Don't do that. And we're not becoming FBI agents trying to figure out who they're dating now. No, as a fact, if they did move on to someone else, scoot on over. I'll help you pack. Hello, somebody. Hi, how you guys doing? Because it's not about being bitter, it's about becoming better. And once you've been through enough, you could finally realize that sometimes the greatest blessing is that God give us was the power to walk away. the power to get gone. That is a powerful thing that God gave us. Healing is funny, and I don't mean like it's funny in a while you're going through it, but funny on when you're on the other side and you become healed and you see where you used to be. Like I have a short story. You guys know I love my stories. So quick story. So you ever walked in the store and you saw your ex and now you're able, you walk past them and you look at them and you wonder like, I cried over this person. Like I was skipping meals over this person. Like I seen potential and I didn't see straight through the eyes that I was like getting healed, wanting to talk about it. Yes, tell me about it. And so, you ever see your ex in there and you're walking through the store and you think to yourself, oh my gosh, did I really just I literally was crying over you. Somebody who wore dress socks with some who wore white socks with dress pants. Like, come on. I was seeing potential and not seeing the pattern. And that's a great difference. And sometimes, people, they don't really miss you. They miss the money. They may miss the rise you gave. They miss the loyalty. They miss the repeated forgiveness that you gave them. They miss the late night conversations. You know, because, when you with somebody, those are certain things that you miss. But here's the plotted twist, with all those things. That person wasn't meant to stay in your season for you. You know what I mean? They never realized that you were a blessing the whole time. They out there and here they thinking that blessings are automatic. No, baby, we're not automatic. Not at all. We're one of the ones. Hello, somebody. You know. So now that and then when you start to heal from somebody that you know that hurt you, I'll tell you one thing that that you're beginning to start to heal from that that hurt pocket, that BS. You don't check their social media no more. You don't care who's liking their pictures, and you don't care to make fake scenarios or create scenarios in your head. You don't care about their friends. You don't care to ask your friends. Have you seen them? How they how they been? You just don't care. You know, but the biggest sign that you're over your ex or that you're over a situation that truly hurted you is that when someone brings their name up, that your blood pressure stays the same. Yeah. And that there was a time, because there was a time they bring that person's name up and it just ruined your whole day. They just took the whole power because they brought that person's name up, and it's like, oh, I was in a bad place. Bringing her name up just made me just want to be sick to the stomach. It's made me sick. I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable. But now, as you start into your healing, you hear their name, and you're just like eating your chicken wings, minding your business, and you're like, who? Oh no, I'm living my best life. These chicken wings are good. They're the best I ever had, just like my life. You know. So, which brings me to a funny story. Y'all know that I love my funny stories. Let me tell y'all something about one of my breakups that I had from back in the days. Okay, don't judge me. I thought I should have had a PhD in just saying that I was just fine in certain situations. I was like, oh, I'm fine, and you're really not fine. Well, let me tell you something. What is one of the first things that a lot of people do when they're going through a breakup? Some of us, go straight to the, beauty shop or the barber shop. Some of us get our nails done, get our hair done, eat some unhealthy ass snacks, or what I'm saying, buy some new shoes, or go to the shop, go to the mall like a shopping spree, like we're going for a fashion show. That was me. Yes, it was. Yep, I'm guilty of those things. But even when I got my hair done and I had on put on all the perfume and I just smelled so good I damn near passed out. I sprayed so much I damn near passed out, but at least if I would have passed out I would have been smelling good. And I even posted a selfie, you know what I mean? The ones that says new chapter, the one that says new chapter, new beginnings, new me, right? I hadn't even turned the page on that chapter. That's the thing. You can post new chapter, but if you still ain't turned the page, I was still reading the same chapter over and over again. The same situation. I kept checking my phone, hoping that that person would call, checking every notifications coming. I'm like, oh God, I'm on pins and needles, and I'm like, please let this be a notification from them. No, it was a notification from Amazon, letting me know that my package had been delivered. Then boom, I saw them, baby. I seen them, and I was looking good. My hair was laid, makeup was but nothing but flawless. Outfit was super cute. I almost asked myself my own phone number. I felt so confident. Now I thought to myself, he's gonna see what he lost. Cause I'm pressure, baby. He gonna see that. So, I'm feeling like I'm pressure. I'm looking like I'm pressure, and I know I'm pressure. Do you know what happened? Do you know that man didn't even look up at me? Now don't forget, I'm still pressure, right? He didn't even look up at me. But I tell you who did. He was with his auntie and she spoke to me, right? She noticed me, and I was so thrown off because he acted like I wasn't even there. She spoke to me and she said, "Well, girl, you look beautiful." And no disrespect, I wanted to answer her immediately, but at the same time she's asking me this, I'm looking at him and he's pretending like he's reading ingredients off a ketchup bottle that I know damn well you're not reading. But that's how he was annoying me. So I come back to how you get into a moment in your head like, I know you did. I wanted to choke him. Do you hear me? And so I focused back on his auntie, and I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, thank you very much. You look beautiful too. And then I realized something. I, I thought that the new hairstyle was going to heal my broken heart. It didn't do that. I thought the outfit could sew me through my emotions. That I get new outfits and they could soothe me through my emotional wounds. I thought if I looked healed, I actually could feel healed and be healed. But healing doesn't always come, and it doesn't start with matching person shoes. No, they actually matching person shoes can absolutely help you. That is true. It can definitely make you feel better, and there's no crime in treating yourself. Sometimes, getting a fresh outfit for yourself just makes you feel, and it gives you that confidence that you was lacking. Or sometimes getting your hair cut or getting going to the beauty shop reminds you that you are still a beautiful person, or reminds you that you're still a handsome person. And then that outfit, good job. You got the outfit, you got that going. That is wonderful. That is motion, and that's cool. That's good job. That's the moments that you was crying in the bathroom eating chips, but you did not text that person. you know that's figuring yourself out. That's leaving and learning your worth and knowing that I am worth. Hello, how you doing? Knowing that I'm worth better than this, because that's growth. And that and just and here's another thing that I realized, that letting go of someone that already let you go. Sometimes, you can look like $1 million and still feel bankrupts on the inside. You know, you can still feel that. And that's sometimes how life. Yes, we will talk about God. Yes, but here's the real thing: healing starts in your heart. you know, and where your heart heals, everything else will follow. Everything else will begin to shine once your heart is healed. Your smile is more real. Your confidence is natural. You know what I mean? Your joy, it just feels so perfect, and it feels right because it is. So, you know, joy is not something that you put away. Joy is something that comes gradually. So doing your hair and your makeup and getting a haircut, that builds up your confidence. Good job. Good job. Rock those shoes. Buy that outfit and take those selfies. But don't stop there. You know, Feed yourself positive thoughts like you pick out your clothes every morning. Because when the inside is healed, I can't suppress that enough. When the inside is healed, outside, it does not need any convincing. You know what I'm saying? And also, when you're healed on the inside, then you will not allow certain things to convince you, or anybody to convince you that you're not beautiful, that you're not that, because you're healed on the inside. So can't nobody come and tell you that you're not. It's a simple reflection of your peace that you have found. You know, and always remember to respect yourself, because everything changes when you do. When you respect yourself, and you're owning up to things that may have happened that you could not have changed, but they happened, your standards start to change. You know what I mean? Even your conversation starts to change. Your peace changes. Which brings me back to what I was talking about, life after the BS, right? Because there is life after that. Because it's not about, pretending that nothing happened. That's not what it's about. It's about refusing to let what happened define the rest of your life. What happens next? I tell you, hello, how you doing? Hey Wanda, how you doing? Glad you're aboard. The next step is freedom. You choose freedom without feeling guilty. You say no without feeling bad about saying no. No, I don't feel bad for saying it because you are setting boundaries. And once you set those boundaries, the only people that are offended by those boundaries are people who do not respect your boundaries. And yes, I am. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. I am. And just for all the questions that are coming on the screen, I will tell you guys, I will give you all a moment to speak it out. Ask me questions. I'll ask you questions. We can get involved together because you guys are my family. So anything that you say does matter to me. Do we have that understanding? I love you guys. So, so stop letting people rent space in your head that has already checked out of your life. I do not. I don't even know what that is. Um, some people have moved out, and what I mean by that is if you're saying, well, what do you mean letting them rent free in my head? Meaning give that, that kind of energy time when that person has already left. Now it's time for you to elevate from that. Okay, you're gone, I'm gone, move past. Because if they can't support your dreams and they don't support you and they don't understand how you move and you're trying to explain your boundaries, get them out of your head. Change the rent. Go up on the price in your head. Let them go. Because the same people that thought they could replace you, but later found out real quick that you can't replace loyalty. Okay, well, you don't get it at all. Okay, well, if you don't get it, it's okay to cast off. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You can't easily place someone who actually loves you with their whole heart. It's hard to find that type of love. And guess what? You don't have to announce that you're glow up because they're going to see your glow up. Once you're over the pain, your glow up is unnoticeable, just like the sun. They will see it. You don't have to post about it. They will see your grow up. You don't have to say, I'm winning, because guess what? You are winning. You just keep growing. You keep showing up. You keep healing. What if we let them go and they stick to us? They won't. Well, sometimes, and I'll take a pause just because you are my, viewer and you're listening, and I like to be active with you. I would tell you this: it's not, my word is not go, but if you're saying you with that, but you want to let them go, but they stick around you and they won't go. What should you do? That's where boundaries come in at. You don't have to, because you set boundaries doesn't make you a mean person. It makes you a person that is saying, hey, this is what's going to happen to protect my peace. So if you have set those boundaries, or if you haven't, try setting them. There's small boundaries that you can take. Hey, listen, I need to breathe a little. And I'm not saying that I don't like you. I'm not saying that I don't want to be around you ever. But what I am saying is that you want to heal, because if you're trying to move forward, right, and they're still at that back door, you're not making room for anyone else, and you're not allowing yourself to grow to see anything else. So I think if you essentially set boundaries, that would help a lot. And if they're a person that does not respect your boundaries, then right there, that should tell you they're not the person for you, because boundaries make us who we are, you know, because again, boundaries are important. So, maybe you could think about that a little bit. Now, the biggest plot twist is that, you know, when you're actually going through, and see, this is just the three of us. What do you mean this is so? What do you mean this is? It's okay if it's just the three of us. Are you talking about three of us in the chat, or three of us? You can give me more input, 'cause I'm trying to understand what you're saying here. But okay, thank you, Wanda, for listening. Now, let me tell you something. There was a season in my life when I thought that, and this is important to me, yeah, that's okay. Three is better than none, right? Hello, somebody. God bless. There was a season in my life when I thought that when people left, that I thought that I was a bad person because they left, you know, and I thought that if somebody walked away, sometimes I thought that, I wasn't good enough, because they walked away. And back then, before my journey, I used to think that way, right? And I felt that way for a very long time. But then, after going through that, I look back and I want to tell that person, thank you for walking out of my life. Thank you for those certain lessons because I became who the person that I am today. And that is a blessing for me. It's better, the best exit in your life is better when they exit the room because now you're making entry for someone else to come in. So that can go all sorts of ways. And it's okay if there's only three people in the chat. I'm okay with that. Okay, so you guys, I have a few questions that I would like to ask, which is my favorite part, is to ask questions. And these are questions that people have asked me, um, had emailed me, right? And so I don't have them memorized, of course, but since you guys are talking and in the chat, why don't we ask these fun little questions? What if they just abuse us and not go? Well, you better call the police. Do you believe in the police? Because now, if you say us, is us like a family? Um, I'll give you a moment to answer that. And it's no pressure here. There's no judgment here. I think that if they're doing it, you should, if I call the cops, the other person, okay. Well, I am not going to say what you should or should not do. If the shoe was on my foot, I would call the police. Nowhere to escape. Oh, there's places to escape, Wanda. There's places to escape. Now this is probably far fetched for you, but do you want help? Because there are shelters. And being abused, I'm sure you are a beautiful woman, and you don't deserve that. You do not deserve to be abused. No woman deserves that, and I dang sure don't think you do, or anybody around you deserves that. So, escape. When someone puts that in escape, nowhere to run to escape, red flag that because now not only are you in danger, you could potentially put someone else in danger. So, there is places to escape too. And if you, were to have that protection, which you could, there's shelters around, you know, well, then I don't know. I don't want you to get buried. So that's kind of a one-way sword. Now, I don't know, Wanda, what's going on here. Um, I appreciate your conversation, but you're saying a lot that, all this stuff that you're saying the police could totally help you. Yeah, well, you can't heal their mental. They have to heal their own mental. That's the thing. You can't do that. You're not God. You are a human, and as a human, you cannot heal other people. You understand? You can understand what they're going through, even with their mental state. Oh, in your mental state. I mean, my mental state. Okay, for your mental state of the situation or your mental state in general. Okay, for your mental state. You know, how do you heal your mind from being, well, first, the first thing that you can do to heal is get away from that person, get some help. You understand, like help. Sometimes, if you're in the house with someone that is abusing you, sure, no escaping, only thing I can heal, that's right, and I'm trying to help you. I'm not, you know I'm only a human. I have emotions. I have feelings just like you. Uh, so I know that pain does not discriminate. So no one escapes. Only I can heal my. You have to heal your mind. And for you to say that, that is courage. Do you just see what you just typed? No one. Only thing I can heal is my mind. Hello, you're already healing and you don't even know it. You just healed right there. I want to tell you, you. Oh my God, that was beautiful. You just healed, Wanda. You're taking these little steps and you didn't even know it. Just right there. I'll say it again. You said no escape. Only thing I can heal is my mind. Right? That's growth. Even if it's one step at a time, you are growing. And you're welcome. Oh my God. Just I just want you to recognize what you just said. And sometimes we don't recognize our own growth, right? Sometimes it takes other people, places, and things to see your growth. And I think that Wanda, I'm sure you are a beautiful person and you don't deserve any of the things that have come your way. And I pray that for you that they get better. Okay. Or what do you mean? Um what okay, I'm not even going to entertain that. So if you don't think it is, whatever, take it how you want. That's kind of, anyways. So like I said, you guys, I have questions, and feel free to answer them with me. So one question that was emailed to me was, have you ever stayed too long in a relationship, a friendship, or a situationship because you were hoping they would change? Well, yes, I have. Yes, I have. And it wasn't because, I was weak. I stayed because I was hopeful. Um, but there comes a point when hopeful has to shake the hands of reality. So you can't keep, I realize you can't keep watering a dead plant. You're welcome, Wanda. You can't keep watering a dead plant, especially when it's already dead. You're watering, it's never going to bloom. So for that answer, I would say that sometimes walking away isn't always giving up. Sometimes walking away is finally choosing yourself. And you guys can feel free again to answer these questions if you so desire. Um, and the next question was, what's one piece of BS you finally let go? Oh, okay. Well, one, you guys could answer that. The question is, what is one piece of BS you finally let go? So something that in your life that was just BS, and you finally said, you know what, I let go. So I'm gonna say that I let go of one, people pleasing. Sometimes people let go of comparing themselves to others, or sometimes you need to let go. You do need to let go of trying to fix everybody. And Wanda, you're most thankful, and always, and also being that always say yes when, and don't always say yes when you need no. So that's another thing you need to let go. I let go of toxic friends. There you go. That's another thing of growth. You let go of people that you knew that were toxic to you. Exactly. That is a big choice right there, Wanda. And also another answer to this question is, here's one. You guys could care to answer if you care. Do you believe you are the blessing? Well, yes, I do believe that I am the blessing as well as I want you to be the blessing. Now I'm alone. Okay, Wanda, I have something for you here. Wouldn't you rather be alone than to have to deal with abuse and being in fear? Because I know when I know humans more, what? When I know humans more, I become okay. And that is a choice, Wanda. That is a choice. But I will say that it's a lot better and more comfortable. You sleep better at night when you don't have so much on your mind with someone else, harassing your brain in your sleep. You're sleeping and they still just bothering you. You can't even take a nap because they're just, "Ah, nah, 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 nah." Peace. Wanda, you got it, baby girl. You got that peace because you've already spoken. So I'm proud of you for your growth. Hello, Wanda. So, Wanda, another question these guys asked was, do you believe you're a blessing? And I think that you are a blessing. So, you know, um, when I become alone more, my mental state becomes like, okay, listen, I can agree because, again, I'm not perfect. One thing about the mind, when we are alone with our mind, just us and our mind, so many thoughts go through it, but that's where you have to practice your self love. That is, and it's hard to hear when all you think about is the negative, but you have to practice self love, right? Self love, self respect, and I don't promise you, but I can almost guarantee that enough practice of that self love, that voice or that mental state, it doesn't it doesn't necessarily means it goes away, but it's more quieter, it's more manageable. I'm sorry if this is hypnotizing you. What do I self love? To do crimes. Well, Wanda, you keep kind of flipping here. We were on a good track, and if you are aware that what you're doing is going to lead you to do a crime, I don't want to know nothing about it, first of all. Okay? Don't come on, please don't come on my platform talking about no crime. I don't want nothing about it. But what I do know, if you know that this is what's leading you to do a crime, then maybe you gotta stop. You were halfway there one day, and I'm still proud of you. I think that sometimes you just get a little, anxious a little bit, and it's okay. Self love will never die as long as you are alive. Every day that you are alive, you have a moment to improve your self love. Okay, and so I think that was the last question that I had. So, family and friends, I want you guys to know, Wanda and you too, if nobody's told you today, I'm going to tell you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of every step you have taken. I'm proud of even the small steps. And Wanda, you have shown me growth in just these 30 minutes that I've been on here and that you've been in here with us, three visitors, as someone said. Regardless to the fact, three visitors, one, two, or none, I am blessed and you are blessed too. There is there is growth in you. You just have to keep digging for it. Your mind now, my mind. Okay, can we do this one thing? I will say this, Wanda. Some days are going to be hard. Some days you're going to feel up, some days you're going to feel down. That's just life. But you got it, Wanda. You have it in you. Just got to keep digging, you know. But, during your journey, celebrate you. Even when no one else is clapping, just keep celebrating yourself because you're worth clapping for. You know, you wasn't created too late. You're not behind. You're still, we're all still here to love. That's what makes us humans. We're on this earth to love and to be loved, right? So keep growing, keep laughing, and I want to thank you guys for spending time with me. The funny comments, the comments that really didn't make any sense. And you know who you are, Wanda. I want to thank you very much for, tuning in, listening, having patience with me, because, me doing a podcast is hard for me too. I don't know what's going to happen when I come 2 days out the week. But when I do, people like you, Wanda, thank you guys for keeping me on my platform. And you are very welcome. And I want you to be blessed and eat you a good dinner. I don't know, what time it is. We could be in two different cities, two different times. But take care of yourself. All of you, take care of yourself. Keep laughing. If you need more encouragement, keep encouraging yourself when nobody else wants to encourage you because you got it. You're winning. You are winning. So do me a favor. Say to yourself, I am here. I'm still the way I am. I am who I am. I am blessed. I'm happy. You be kind. Oh, and God loves you too. I love God. He's the reason why I'm here. He's the reason why we're all here. We're all blessed to have that in us. Yes, Jerry, God is good. You know, yes, He is, and how good has God been to you today? God is great. Oh my God, just makes me excited. So you guys be kind, protect your peace, love deeply, walk in faith, and remember there is life after the BS. It can, it doesn't have to become just that chapter of your life. It doesn't have to become the whole book. I love you, So thank you guys for joining me. And so I'll be here for like another 5, 6 minutes, and you guys, we can do a little questions or answers. Or if you have a short story you want to tell, I'll be in the studio here for like another 5 minutes. And I figure I play a little jazz because I know that's my thing. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to thank you so much. And I'm sure you're beautiful. I won't be on here tomorrow, but I will be here Tuesdays. I'm every Tuesday and Thursday, you guys. Is there any way to get American visa? Well, I've seen this. I don't know too much about that, but if you're 18, I don't know. Have you ever dated anyone in the U.S.? God bless you. Uh, if you ever dated anyone, in the U.S., maybe you could become with. How are you 9 and you're on my show? Oh my God. It specifically says not for kids, so I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad to have you on here. God bless you, all ages. I was answering your question, Wanda. Have you ever dated anyone? Uh, yes, I have. I have friends. I mean, not a lot. Learned a lot from friends, but I don't have a lot. But yeah, but as I was saying, do you have friends in the United States? You know, tons of friends. No, I never dated. You never dated. You never dated. Like, well, you're only 18. You have plenty of time. You don't have to rush that. Sweetie, you don't have to rush dating. Dating will come. No, I never dated. Okay. You know what they say, a woman never tells her age, but I'm grown. Mm, Uh, no, I don't. Well, don't rush it. I will not cheat. That cheating thing get people hurt. So good. I'm glad that you have the attitude of you're not gonna do that. That is good. See, you're 18. You got your head on straight. You're not gonna cheat. Well, Wanda, I'm glad that you're not gonna cheat. So, if you've never dated, I'm sorry. Uh, who was uh, the person you was trying to? Okay, you're being funny. Haha. Are you using your dad's phone? Well, I'm still glad to have you, but 9 is crazy. Okay, so these questions are coming in. And so, you guys, here's the thing. I need kind of like to understand the whole question. Okay, Cherry, you said I never did nobody. Okay, well, if you never, I don't know, what do you mean by that? I'm sorry. Thank you, Wanda. I think you are an amazing person. Look at you. Look in the mirror. I'm amazing, girl. You're amazing, girl. You're beautiful. Um, I also wanted to let you guys know that I will be showcasing my brand. Hey, yeah, I'm actually coming building the logo, so I would hope you guys would like to have the logo for the Here and Now show. Thank you so much. Do you do live every day, madam? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. I can't see without these glasses, honey. I'm like, without my glasses, I need them. So thank God for glasses. Hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Um, I didn't read this. Okay, I will read it if you put it on there. Can I ask you guys what's your favorite color? I'm still have another uh, I'll stay another five more minutes just because I love you guys. Well, see, without oh no, now you're asking a lot. Take my glasses off and read. I can't do that to them. I can see. Thank you. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you too, honey. He loves all of us. Still such a big heart. Yeah, barely. Hi. Like, are we throwing shots? Is there shots because I'm blind? That's why I have glasses so I can see. I definitely seen the thank you that Jesus loves you, and I see the hi, and also see where you said, "Can you see that?" Yeah, I can actually. But so you guys, before I get off the air, I have about another 4 minutes. Um, just know that I am so glad you guys came in. Just such a great feeling. So if there's not any more questions, any more comments, 2 minutes and counting. Okay. Question one, Wanda. You said, what is your job? My job is several jobs. What, like podcasts for one? It's my good thing. And I work with children. Did you see the last? Okay, does it matter? Does it really matter though? Okay. Well, again, you guys, ooh, what you have ate? Oh, what I have for breakfast? Actually. Breakfast is happens to be one of my favorite meals. But I actually had some bacon. Standard breakfast. I had my bacon, my eggs and hash brown, and my toast on wheat bread. I love wheat bread. Well, I love all breads, but yeah, what'd you have for breakfast? Excuse me. What'd you have for breakfast? Totally, dude. Yeah. All right. We got 1 minute, guys. And then your girl got to go home. Your girl got to go home and eat me a little dinner. You guys have any great dinner ideas? Any dinner ideas? No? It's 7 o'clock. Should I go out and get food or should I cook it? I only eat 2 meals a day. Well, there's nothing wrong with 2 meals a day, as long as it's two of your favorite meals. Hey, hello. Thank you. And nice to meet you. And I hope I see you on Tuesday. I would love that. And maybe, we talk more. I want you guys to go home. I want you guys to get home. I want you guys, if you're on your way home, get there. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Yeah, I think I am going to go out to eat. I think I will. What I'll have, I don't know. So thank you guys for tuning in. God bless all of you. I love y'all. I appreciate the ones, the twos, or thousands or no thousands that showed up with me tonight. Thank you. God bless. Thank you for tuning into the Here and Now show. I'm your host, Lavonda Ray. Good night, guys.